Hi, this is Kenyon with Little Giant Ladder Systems. Today we're going to demo the Conquest EN. Now the EN version of the Conquest is specific to our partners in the European market. If for any reason you've come across this demo video and you're not in Europe nor live by those EN 131 standards, then this video may not apply to you, but we're really excited to have a ladder specific to our partners in the UK, throughout Europe, and those that abide by the EN 131 standards. As with other Little Giant EN ladders, this ladder does meet all EN 131 150 kg weight capacities. We also wanted to point out something that makes this ladder unique, and they are the outriggers down here at the bottom. You'll see that right now they're in the storage position. Before using the ladder in any configuration, make sure that you move the ladder to its first locked position. Do that on both the left and the right before using the ladder in the A-frame, the staircase, or even the extension ladder configurations. For convenience, of course, we can move these back up into their stored position. We move these outrigger legs simply by squeezing the housing. That pulls out a metal pin, and you can bring that up into its locked position or down into its first initial position or other positions to make these legs even wider for your height to width ratio or to level for unlevel terrain. Make sure that that pin is fully seated in its locking position. After putting the outrigger into the position that's desired, now we can change the shape of the ladder by using the hinge. Bringing it into its closed locked position, into the A-frame configuration, and then also as an extension ladder. We do that simply by squeezing in the palm button, making sure that when we get to its locked position, that these metal pins, again, are fully seated and locked into place. The only other thing to remember about the Conquest are the rapid locks. By twisting that rapid lock, we can adjust the length or the height of that ladder. In the A-frame configuration, we'll find the size that's appropriate for the work that we're doing. On this 4x4 size, or the Model 17, we can choose 4 different sizes of that A-frame configuration. Now again, we're going to rotate that rapid lock 90 degrees to bring it into its locked position. Do the same thing on this other side, rotating the rapid lock, and then hand over hand bringing it into its full upright position, making sure that those rapid locks are locked into place. I always get in the habit of pulling the ladder towards me or stretching out that tolerance. We need to have a little bit of tolerance within the hinge and also as the inner telescopes inside the outer sections. Now the ladder's stiff and ready to climb. It has that 150 kilogram rating on each side at the same time. So it's designed for 2 people, although you may or may not use 2 people at the same time. We could use one side here and have the same 150 kilogram rating on the other side as well. There is no spreader bar to get in the way because it's the hinge that does all that work for us. We can also offset the sides of the ladder simply by making one side of the ladder shorter than the other. Now we have what's called the 90-degree position. By climbing up this side, we have nearly 90 degrees on this side. So we're right up next to walls, windows, hedges, whatever it may be. We're close to the work, but it eliminates the need to overreach. And of course, we're not leaning the ladder on the work at all. If we make that difference even greater, this is the ladder that works on unlevel terrain, whether it's a hillside, porch, staircases. One of the biggest reasons people have bought Little Giant ladders for 50 years is this reason right here. This is the ladder that works in the middle of a staircase to get those tricky jobs done a lot safer. To make the ladder into the extension ladder configuration, we will unlock the hinge one more time. Squeeze those in with the palm of your hand or your fingertips. Now they're unlocked. to open it up into the extension ladder configuration. Again, make sure that the hinge is fully seated and locked into place. Now, by extending the legs of the ladder, we can determine what length the ladder is going to be. We would recommend that you do this on the ground, whether it's a driveway or out in the grass. Create the length or the height that we need in that extension ladder configuration. Now, by footing the ladder down at the bottom, the base of the wall that we're going to lean the ladder against, whether it's a building, a home, whatever wall that we're leaning the ladder on, we're going to flip the ladder over, place these feet at the bottom of that footing, and that will give me the ballast that I need, that hand over hand, I can bring the ladder up into its upright vertical position. Of course, we would always recommend that you're putting the ladder at a 4-to-1 ratio, whether it's 4 feet, 4 meters. If our ladder was 4 meters high, the bottom of the ladder would be 1 meter away from the leaning surface at the bottom. Whatever numbers you use, make sure again it's a 4-to-1 ratio that works out to be a 75-degree angle. That way the ladder's not leaned too steep or too shallow. That's for your safety. Remember that these outriggers are designed to meet that EN standard of height to width ratio. They also adjust independently. So when we work on any kind of unlevel terrain, we would never put a rock, a piece of wood, or a piece of lumber underneath a ladder. That wouldn't be safe. But with these outriggers, not only do they give us that height to width ratio, but I can also adjust for unlevel ground. By squeezing in the housing, we can adjust the length of that leg to compensate for any kind of unlevel terrain that we might be working on. The Conquest has multi-position swivel feet, so they can be placed in the upright spiked position when we're working on softer surfaces, or in the pad position. To bring the Conquest down from its upright position, we'll just reverse the steps. Placing the bottom of the ladder against the edge of the building and hand over hand, bringing it down to the floor or the ground. Now we can bring the sides or the legs of the ladder to their stored positions. And by unlocking the hinge, we can bring the ladder back up to its stored position. Storing the outrigger legs until it's nice and compact. The Conquest is also prepared with wheels, so that in the stored position, we won't need to carry the ladder very far. Simply tilt the ladder back, and now we can roll the ladder through the grass or the gravel for the next work that we're doing. The Conquest is available in multiple sizes. The Model 17, or what you might call a 4x4 tread, is the one that I've demonstrated. It's also available in a Model 22 or a 5x5, all of which work the same way that I've shown you today, just different sizes, different heights. All meet the EN 131 standard and 150 kg rating. As with other Little Giant multi-purpose ladders, the Conquest is compatible with a number of accessories that make your work easier, faster, and safer. If you'd like to know a little bit more about those accessories, compatibility, or send us your feedback, your comments, your questions, we always love to hear back from you. Leave those comments and questions below. And a few quick reminders here. Choose the right ladder for the job, set it up correctly, and maintain 3 points of contact when you're climbing up and down any ladder. This is the Conquest EN by Little Giant Ladder Systems.